Have you ever noticed that the moments when life feels most comfortable are also the moments when you suddenly feel restless, anxious, or even unfulfilled? It's strange. You finally get the security you thought you wanted, and instead of peace, you start sabotaging it. Why do we do this? Why does comfort, the very thing we chase, so often plant the seeds of our own unhappiness? In this video, we're going to explore what I call the paradox of comfort. We'll uncover why human beings are wired to resist prolonged comfort, how too much comfort leads to stagnation and hidden dissatisfaction, the evolutionary and psychological roots of our self-sabotage, and how this shows up in the smallest details of everyday life. And most importantly, we'll look at how to use comfort wisely, how to enjoy it without letting it destroy the very happiness we're seeking. By the end, you'll see why comfort can be both a blessing and a curse, and how to stop sabotaging your own happiness when life finally feels good enough. For most of human history, survival meant constant movement. Our ancestors lived in conditions where food, shelter, and safety were never guaranteed. The human brain evolved in an environment of uncertainty, novelty, and challenge. We were built to adapt to shifting circumstances, to endure stress, and to overcome difficulty. Comfort, in the sense of stable shelter, secure food sources, and endless abundance, is actually a very recent invention. So when modern life gives us heated homes, food delivery, and infinite entertainment, our nervous system doesn't quite know what to do with it. It grows restless. We feel an itch, a whisper that says, something's missing. That itch is not a flaw in your character. It's not proof that you're ungrateful or broken. It's simply that your brain was designed for motion, not endless ease. It was shaped in fire, and when there's no fire to face, it starts looking for sparks. Think about water. Flowing rivers stay fresh and alive, but a stagnant pond with no movement grows murky and lifeless. Human beings are the same. When comfort turns into routine, growth slows down. And when growth slows, boredom creeps in. You might get the promotion you worked so hard for, only to feel strangely unsatisfied a few months later. Or you achieve financial stability, but find yourself oddly empty because the chase is over. Psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill. The idea that no matter how much comfort or pleasure we achieve, we adapt to it, and soon need more just to feel normal. What once felt like a luxury becomes the new baseline. That's why the joy of your first apartment fades after a few months. Why the thrill of a new car eventually becomes just a way to get from point A to point B. And it's why we unconsciously sabotage comfort, picking up new problems, chasing unnecessary drama, or manufacturing struggles to reignite meaning. Here's the real trap. We confuse comfort with happiness. They are not the same thing. Comfort is external. Soft beds, climate control, convenience, fewer challenges. Happiness is internal. Purpose, growth, connection, mastery. Comfort numbs discomfort, but it doesn't bring fulfillment. That's why binge-watching shows, scrolling endlessly, or indulging in conveniences might feel good in the moment but leaves you feeling drained afterward. When we mistake the absence of discomfort for joy, we settle. And settling leads to that quiet voice inside us whispering, "Is this it? Is this all there is?" That whisper grows louder the longer we stay in pure comfort, until we can't ignore it anymore. That's when we begin sabotaging, procrastinating, distracting ourselves, even picking fights or chasing reckless impulses. Anything to escape the emptiness of pure ease. So why do we actively ruin comfort when we finally get it? It comes down to two forces, fear and growth. The first is fear of loss. Comfort makes us aware we have something to lose. The more comfortable we are, the more we fear disruption. That fear pushes us to sabotage before life does it for us. Almost like breaking your own toy before someone else can take it away. It's a strange kind of self-defense. If you ruin it yourself, at least you had control over how it ended. The second is the drive for growth. Deep inside, humans crave progress. When comfort blocks growth, the subconscious creates problems to solve: arguments, dissatisfaction, sudden restlessness, even reckless choices. It's not that people love drama. It's that the psyche manufactures struggle when real challenges disappear. That's why so many people blow up relationships that seem stable, quit jobs with no backup plan, or chase unnecessary risks. It's not always self-destruction. Sometimes it's the psyche's desperate attempt to feel alive again. The truth is, our deepest need is not safety, but growth. Comfort feels like the reward, but too much of it turns bitter. It's the tension between comfort and challenge that makes life meaningful. Without challenge, comfort becomes prison. Without comfort, challenge becomes unbearable. We sabotage happiness when we lean too far toward one side of the paradox. So what can we do? How do we use comfort without being destroyed by it? First, see comfort as a tool, not a destination. Use moments of ease to recharge, but don't mistake them for the goal of life. A vacation is restorative because it's rare, not because you'd want to live in a permanent vacation. Second, seek intentional discomfort. Exercise, cold showers, learning new skills, public speaking, or taking on challenges keeps the brain engaged and satisfied. Voluntary struggle prevents destructive unconscious sabotage. When you choose your discomfort, you don't need to manufacture chaos. Third, redefine happiness. Recognize that true joy comes not from comfort but from progress, purpose, contribution, and deep connection. You don't remember the nights you scrolled endlessly. You remember the moments when you pushed yourself, risked something, or grew in ways you didn't think possible. Finally, balance. Comfort is sweet in doses but deadly in excess. Alternate between comfort and challenge, rest and striving, to keep life meaningful. Think of it as breathing in and breathing out. Too much of either suffocates you. So here's the paradox. Comfort, which promises peace, often robs us of the very happiness we're chasing. Too much of it breeds stagnation. Too little makes life unbearable. The secret isn't to reject comfort. It's to dance with it. To use it, enjoy it, but not get trapped by it. Happiness comes from growth, purpose, and the courage to step outside the easy path. The next time life feels too comfortable and you sense that restless itch, don't sabotage yourself blindly. Don't burn down what you've built. Instead, pause and ask, what challenge am I avoiding? What growth is calling me? What small dose of intentional discomfort can keep me alive and moving forward? Because in the end, happiness isn't found in endless comfort. It's found in the tension between comfort and challenge, that dynamic space where you are just uncomfortable enough to keep growing, but grounded enough to keep going. If this message resonated with you, take a moment right now. Reflect on one area of your life where comfort has quietly stolen your happiness. Write it down. And commit to one intentional challenge this week. Growth begins exactly where comfort ends.